Hello, LinkedIn colleagues. This is John Herrera, president of MuniTemps Municipal Staffing Solutions. And today's article is titled, Hardworking People Thrive During an Economic Recession. You know, there's much talk of recession today. It's all over the news. People are going from being in this high of the economy's great, we're making lots of money, our net worth is going up because our housing values are going up, our 401k, our 457. Everybody's been really happy for the last 14 years since the last economic downturn, which we called the Great Recession of 2008 to 2009 or even 2010, I believe. If you remember, the economic downturn was pretty scary for a lot of people, right? So I just want to talk briefly, what does the economic recession mean? What exactly is it, right? We're all working. As a matter of fact, there's more jobs out there than there are people willing to go to work. So I wanted to just briefly read to you what the definition, from an economist standpoint, here's the definition. A recession is 2 consecutive quarters of economic decline as measured by GDP, gross domestic product. So the first quarter that just ended, March 31st, 2022, was down 1.4%. We're all aware of that, right? The next quarter that ends June 30th, 2022, we're already 2.5 months away from that. If it goes down, again, that will constitute 2 consecutive quarters that year over year has declined in GDP, gross domestic product. But I'll tell you that definition, those definitions of the economists are pretty meaningless to me. I actually have always preferred the definition of recession that our president, our 33rd president, Harry S. Truman, when he said this some 70 years ago, he said that you are in a recession when your neighbor's out of work, but you're in a depression when you're out of work. That's something to think about, right? It really comes down to having a job. And regardless of the definition that you follow, whether you're using the economics definition, which who cares about that, right? Except for economists, or whether you're in a recession or a depression, it really comes down to having a job. There's really that, I don't understand that conundrum that we have right now with we have more jobs than we have people willing to go to work. In a separate article, I'll talk about that, but just keep that in mind, okay, how we navigate this next economic recession. My point for you LinkedIn colleagues today is, don't worry about recession. You will always have a job. I always had a job. I've been working for over 40 years since graduating high school, and I've always had a job. So as long as I always have a job, who cares whether there's a recession, up or down? Do you care? Please comment on this article and tell me, why should we care about whether we're in a recession or an up market? In the end, it's how are you doing personally? And you know, I think back to during my 40 plus years of working, I always wanted to get laid off. I wanted to feel what it felt like to get laid off. Maybe because I was very confident in my ability to get jobs. But it's not just me. It's over 90% of workers. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, I believe they say that there's over 150 million people working today. So even in the Great Recession of 2008, 2009, there were 15 million people out of work, and many more millions got out of the job market, but it wasn't 100%, okay? People, I'm nothing special. 90% of you all listening right here, you will have a job. You've always had a job. You will have a job through this next recession, or even depression, as some people are saying. So that's why I'm confident. What do I have to worry about recession? The people who have to worry about this are the people who are out there living recklessly. They don't have a conservative way of managing their finances. They're living beyond their means. They're thinking and being misled into thinking they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity in their houses, or even millions of dollars, depending on how many houses they own. But that's all funny money. That can evaporate. The balance of your 401k. In a short term, that could evaporate. And you don't want to count on that. But over the long term, housing values go up. So when you sell it, you eventually will sell it for more. The 401k, the stock market always goes up. You know, if you look at the 1 day picture for the stock market, is falling and falling. Oh my gosh, the sky is falling, right? Chicken Little. Don't worry about it. You look at it over a week, a month, a year, 5 years. Yes, it still looks pretty bad. But go over 30 years. Go back to 1992 and look at how the stock market always goes up. You have to have a long-term focus. Look at one of my other blog posts that I did last couple years. And one of them was about think long-term. You will have greater rewards. So my point to you, colleagues, is don't worry. Who gives a care about what happens with the economy? Unless you're in government or you're an economist and your job is to rescue people who are irresponsible, whether it's companies or even other local governments or individuals. They want to get rescued. Help, we took a lot of chances. We played with, we took a risk with our house. We made a casino out of the stock market. We made a casino out of the real estate market. Those are the guys that are scared. Not you. Workers like you and I, we're confident. Bring it on. We don't care what happens with a recession. We will always have a job. We're managing our finances. We're living within our means. We don't panic. Don't panic. But do work hard. Be productive. Bring value to your company or to your organization. You colleagues that are watching this video, you're smart. Not because you're listening to me, but because you're involved with LinkedIn. You're involved with other colleagues that provide synergy as we connect with different people that have different ideas. But in the end, it comes down to the fundamentals. Whether you're talking about your career, the stock market, the real estate market, the bond market, whatever it is, you need to take a long-term view. The fundamentals say you cannot beat the market. You don't have a crystal ball. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But if you stick to the fundamentals of conservative financial management, living within your means, keeping your debt to income ratio at a good level as best as possible, and do the best for the long term, you'll do okay. When I was in college, when I graduated from San Diego State, right, there were the same crazy risk takers. We called them technical analysts. They're watching the markets every single day and they're all excited. Oh my gosh, the markets are going up. We're doing great. Oh, and the next day, the next week, oh, the stock market's going down. Who cares? I was a fundamental from finance standpoint. I follow the fundamentals. Long term, we will do well. Short term, ups and downs, wasting your time doing that. So my advice, again, just to remind you, the recession, who the heck cares? You're a hard worker. You're productive. You're adding value to your organization. You're not going to lose your job. The people who are going to lose their job, the people that should be concerned are the dead wood. The lazy people, the people that rely for somebody to take care of them, those need to be careful. Also, the companies that think there's always going to be somebody to bail them out. Okay, we'll get to the point that even Uncle Sam and the Federal Reserve Bank can no longer bail them out. They're running out of tools, guys. Okay, so who cares about recession? We're going to be doing good. We're going to do great. We'll get through this. We will not only survive, we will thrive. You may have to work a little harder. You may not have all the perks that you like, but we will survive. As a matter of fact, you will even thrive. So remember, you need to keep working hard, be productive, and add measurable value to your organizations. Live within your means, right? Follow the fundamentals. Don't get wrapped up in the short-term technical analysis. These people that profit on the short term and really hurt our economy. Don't panic. Stay focused. We will be fine, okay? So remember, there's a good thing about the recession. The deadbeats, whether it be a company or individual, they'll have to worry because they haven't been following prudent person policies like you and I have. All for now, John Herrera with Muni Temps. Have a good day.